Greetings and welcome to another Pokemon 2019 or Pokemon Journeys the Series episode preview discussion. This time I'm talking about the preview for episode 135, so let's get to it. Episode 135 will focus on Ash and Go's reunion and return to Vermilion City since the Masters Tournament and the Project Mew are over. Now normally I would break down the preview scene by scene, while providing my thoughts and analysis, before providing my conclusions and the predictions at the end. However, in all honesty, the preview for episode 135 does not really allow me to utilize my usual style of preview discussion, since most of what is shown in it is not conducive to a lot of predicting or analysis, because all we see is Go, his Pokemon, both with and without him, and Ash, Chloe, Go and their partner Pokemon together, just having fun and talking. So there is honestly not much I can say about these scenes other than what I have already said, and other than the fact that, like Ash, Go returns to the lab where his Pokemon are at the end of a series to essentially reflect on his journey thus far and on what he will do next. The only scene that is really worth discussing and that does allow for some good analysis is this scene near the end of the preview, where Ash and Go are seen at night while it's raining around a lake that has a small island in the middle. Said island has a big tree on it that has shiny purple leaves, and something is seen glowing blue. Said something is either inside the tree or floating right in front of it. It's also clear that the entire area is sparkling. Perhaps the water is reflecting the blue glow. This bathes the entire area in blue light. Now, of course, I likely don't have to tell you why this scene is worth discussing, because it's clear that something special and surreal is happening here. The question is, what exactly is going on here? Well, I honestly have no idea, since there is nothing, at least as far as I can see, that reveals where this takes place, and we also cannot see who or what is glowing blue. My first thought was that Ash and Go are in the Slumbering Weald, since it has this same lighting in the anime. However, this does not make sense, since Ash and Go just made it back to Vermilion City in this episode. My next thought was that whatever is glowing here is a legendary or mythical Pokemon, since such a Pokemon would do something this magical and mysterious. But like I said earlier, I have no idea what Pokemon it could be. But since Pokemon Journeys is winding down to its conclusion, it's fitting that a legendary or mythical Pokemon will appear to both punctuate the end of the series with a fateful encounter that encourages reflection of what has happened thus far and to bring in the beginning of a new series by showing that the world still has many more mysteries to uncover and adventures to undertake, which both motivates and inspires the start of a new journey. So yeah, there really isn't much I can say about this preview just from what it shows. I can, however, talk plenty about what is said in the preview. This does provide something to discuss. Go is heard saying that he wants to set off on a journey. Chloe wonders if he told Ash about this. Go says that since he knows Ash very well, he knows that Ash will tell him to go for it. Ash is then heard joining Chloe and Go, which gives them both pause, likely because it's awkward that Ash shows up just as Go is talking about parting ways with him. And it's clear that Go will find it difficult to reveal this to Ash. Go is even seen crying at the end of the preview, revealing that he will be quite sad about having to stop traveling with Ash. Now all of this of course reveals that Go found, or rather will find, a new dream. Something that will propel him onwards going forward. Now that his dream of finding Mew has been fulfilled / is on hold for now. This something clearly requires Go to set off on his own journey. Sadly, this preview does not reveal or hint at what Go's new objective is or at where he wants to go. Also, all of this might be pointing to the fact that Go will leave the anime at the end of Pokemon Journeys, though not permanently, mind you. Like most of Ash's friends / traveling companions, Go will, at the end of his series, go his own way, separating from Ash in the process. We will likely see him again at some point in the future, when he makes a return in a future series. Again, just like Ash's other friends / traveling companions. Go's temporary departure from the anime would of course, as usual, set up Ash to travel alone onto the next series, where he will meet new friends that will travel with him in said new series. It is worth mentioning, however, that there will be another episode after episode 135. Episode 136 was revealed recently, and its title, which is Ash and Go Embark on a New Journey, might suggest that Go will stick around, and he will continue traveling with Ash. Like Go, Ash also needs to find something new to drive him forward, since he fulfilled his dream. Therefore, I could see Ash choosing to go along with Go in his new journey, since Ash has nothing else to do, nothing to shoot for, so he might as well accompany Go. Plus, Ash might find what he wants to do next by tagging along with Go. Though it is worth mentioning that there is another way to interpret this title. Ash and Go embark on a new journey does not necessarily mean that they will travel together. It could just mean that they will both embark on their own new journey, which would mean that Go will indeed leave the anime for now, while Ash will go on to the next series. Though the reverse could also be possible, unlikely and unfortunate as it may be. Now, if Go's new journey is to go to the Paldea region, which is possible, then it is very likely that he will stick around and that Ash will continue to travel with him. Personally, I wouldn't mind if Go stays in the anime and continues to travel with Ash, though they would absolutely have to throw in at least one new character into the mix, just to shake things up and bring variety. At the same time though, I really would not mind if Go does leave the anime for now and Ash gets a new friend or two in the next series. So I am 50-50 on this, since I don't hate Go, but I don't like him either. Therefore, whether he leaves or stays, I will have no complaints. But yeah, that's everything I have for you in this video. Again, this is a difficult preview to discuss, since what it shows is not too significant, to the point that when I saw it for the first time, I thought of not making a video on it, because I did not know what to say. Normally, one look at a preview is enough to fill my mind with speculation and analysis. This time, however, I had to really think about it. Thankfully, I was able to come up with enough to say. But despite the vague preview, I am still looking forward to episode 135, because I am curious to see just how this series will conclude. Episode 135 will air on December 9. As usual, once the episode airs, I will post a review of it as soon as possible, both on YouTube and on Instagram. So please look forward to them. Also, do let me know in the comments down below if you would like to see Go stay or leave. But that's the video. As always, leave your own thoughts down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did and would like to see more like it, then please consider subscribing to my channel. I love Pokemon and I love making videos on both the anime and the games. Also, please consider clicking the links on screen so that you can check out more videos like this right away. Thank you very much for watching, and let's meet again in the next video.